this sound familiar? Like maybe it could be you. You are constantly distracted by your phone. You feel like you're spending too much time on your phone. You might not be getting enough sleep at night. You kind of just wish things would go back to the way they were in the 80s and 90s when life was a little simpler. Well, what if I told you it's not necessarily the phone that is the problem? It is the way we are using our devices. So it's not really feasible in today's world to just get rid of the phone. And we use it for navigation, to get places. We use it to communicate with people, and we use it to find other people. So it's kind of a necessity in our day-to-day life. So just getting rid of it altogether, not really an option. But how can we use the device in a way that's more healthy, that allows us to do the things that we want to do and not get distracted by technology? Well, I'm here to help you today get that all squared away. We're going to not do a detox because a detox is getting rid of the technology, and we need to learn how to live with the technology because it is useful and we do need to figure out how to use it in a healthy way. So it's not a detox, but we are going to look at being more intentional about our phone use. I'm going to give you some tools, some apps, all the things that can help you with a technology, not detox, but a technology reset is what I like to call it. So let's get right into today's video. So the first and most important thing in a technology reset is to maybe give yourself a little checkup. How are you currently using your device? So if you go into the settings in your phone, whether that's an iPhone or whether it's an Android, in Android, it's going to be under something called digital well-being. In your iPhone, it's going to be under screen time. Let's figure out where this is located and get in there and see your exact usage. This is going to be really eye-opening for you because sometimes you can think, I'm really not spending that much time on Instagram, on YouTube, on all these other things that distract us. And then when you look at your actual usage, it's kind of mind-blowing to what that usage is. So that's going to be our first step. Let's check up on ourselves and see exactly what the usage is. So again, with Android, you're going to go to digital well-being in the settings app, and it's going to give you all of these details as to what kind of things you are looking at on your phone. So on an Apple device, go ahead and go into settings and then just do a little search for screen time. You'll be able to pull it right up and see all of your usage there. It's going to show you much more details than just how you're using your app. It's going to show you notifications you're getting and everything like that. So it's going to be very eye-opening for you to check into that usage. So now that you've got kind of an idea of how you're using your phone and maybe the unhealthy ways you might be using your phone, it's time to set a goal. So let's say Instagram is your big vice. You're constantly scrolling through Instagram, then maybe setting a time limit for yourself on Instagram, or maybe unlocking your phone. Even like when you're bored, you have nothing really to look at, you just unlock your phone for no reason. Maybe set a goal for unlocking your phone less, or set a goal for turning off some notifications. Whatever kind of usage you feel is an unhealthy way to use your device, go ahead and set that goal. And it might be tempting to set more than one goal. I'm going to say go ahead and just set one goal for now. You can tackle that next one maybe next month once you've mastered the first one. But I'm going to show you some tools that can help you get that goal accomplished. So the first tool I'm going to show you is the Space app. Now, this is an application that is going to allow you to set a goal inside the app and help you notify you when you're getting close to that goal or when you've reached that goal. Or you can set it in, just notify me so I'm aware of what's going on. But the Space app is one of my favorite for this digital, not detox, but this digital reset, because it really gives you a lot of options into what your goals are. And it's not going to tell you what those goals are. You have to set that goal for yourself. So the Space app is one of my top recommendations. One of the things that's kind of gaining some popularity these days is a physical device that allows you to tap your phone and then it's going to shut down specific apps or things like that until you tap the device again. So say you leave that device at home, then you're not going to be able to get into that application until you get back home and you tap the device. So we have a few here that I can talk about. So this is the Bloom. And what is unique about the Bloom, you can have streaks in the app. Now, I am a sucker for a good streak. So you want to get me addicted to an app, put a streak in there and I am sold because I love to see how many days in a row I can go. So this Bloom device allows you to have a streak. So you can set a goal. I'm going to brick my phone or completely disable my phone for this period of time. And then however many days in a row you get that, you can have that streak. So this one is shaped like a card and it's very thin. So this can be pretty portable, but I think one of the big benefits of these kind of devices is that it's not around you all the time. So you can't, I need to unlock. But if it's something that you just want to be aware of, but you don't want to be locked out of an app that you need to get into, you can take this with you very easily. It's going to fit right in your wallet or whatever. So this is going to be kind of the most portable of these options. Another thing you can do with the Bloom is that you can add friends and compete. Like, how often are you meeting your goals and how often are you kind of bricking out your device like that? So speaking of brick, so a lot of people call a device a brick when it's completely unusable. So it's about as useful as a brick. So that's kind of the idea behind the name of this one. This is called the brick and it essentially helps you brick your device so that it's not usable. But again, all of these devices have the ability for you to set different modes. So like, let's say I just want to be off social media. So you can add all the social media apps. And so the social media apps are disabled. You can also utilize these if you want to get your phone ready to hand over to a kid to use in a car or wherever. You can use the same method, but instead you're going to lock them out of all of your important apps and only allow them access to very specific apps. So you can really set up these modes however you want. But this is the brick device. Its unique feature is that it can pause notifications as well. And I really liked that about this because that's what gets me almost every time is my apps will give me different notifications and it kind of sucks me back into that app when I could be more intentional about what I'm doing and go to that app specifically when I am able to go to that app. So I'm not getting a notification that kind of pulls me into that app. So that's the brick device. And then it's going to display those missed notifications when you get into the app. It'll display the missed notifications inside the app. The next one I want to talk about is this Scrolly. So it's kind of a fun little character. It can be put on your keychain again, so it's a little more portable. And that may or may not be the point of this kind of device, but this is really cute. Doesn't really look like a device that's going to brick your phone, but it's got a cute character inside the app. The character has a prominent role, so it's got some fun animations for when you hit your goals and things like that. So this is the Scrolly. So this one might be fun for kids to use if you're kind of doing this as a whole family. The next one I found is this called Pause Box, and what's great about Pause Box, this is actually going to be the same type of device, but there's a more portable version or just the bigger version here. So it's going to do basically the same thing. One thing about Pause Box is it is iOS only at the moment. I generally don't talk about products that are only available for iOS, but this one was interesting because this is the least expensive of all of these types of devices. You can get one of these for about $20. And it basically does the same kind of things where you can set schedules and time limits. This one also has the ability to automatically unpause after a specific amount of time. So you just set the time limit that you want to be paused from, and then it'll automatically unlock itself after it's reached that time. But you don't have to set a time limit. You can just unpause from tapping the device as well. Now, so we'll go from the least expensive to the most expensive. The most expensive is this Helm. So it's very weighty. So it's kind of interesting, and it's got this compass type design on it. It's basically to help, direct you to your best self. The really unique feature about this that's really only available on iOS. I mean, the app itself is available on Android and iOS, but this feature is currently only on iOS, and that's the ability to set a step count. So once I hit a specific amount of steps, it's going to unlock. So you can, tap this and then make sure you get your exercise in, so you don't untap to unlock everything. You just reach your step goal and then it'll unlock. So that was a really fun feature I liked about this device particularly. It also has, again, just for iOS. So the Android app is very basic, but it does have some cool features, just like, setting schedules and putting different modes and things like that. But the other cool iOS feature is that it can turn your phone to grayscale. So you tap it and it's a grayscale phone. Now, studies have shown when you turn your phone to grayscale, it's not as engaging to look at, so you don't have that need or want to continually look at your phone because it's all grayed out. I actually do this automatically on my phone because you can set some of these rules up in digital well-being and in screen time in your Apple device, so you don't necessarily have to use one of these products, but my phone actually turns to grayscale at 9 p.m. every night, and then that just kind of helps me wind down so that I can get to sleep. So that device will allow it to automatically turn to grayscale when you tap it. So those are some of these newer products to kind of help with this phone addiction problem. But what if we want to go like really, really basic with our phone? So this is called the Wisephone, and it's a just really, really simple phone. It has, just a few applications where you can get to your camera, you can get to GPS like Google Maps, you can get to your phone and your messages, but that's about it. You can add some different applications here, but it's going to be just a really simplified version of a phone. And their packaging is actually really fun. I really liked their packaging here. So this is called the Wisephone, and you can set different limits on it and whatnot, but it's a really fun way to just basically simplify your life when you're on the go, where it's just going to give you access to the things that you need and none of the things that you don't. Now, finally, if you want to go really, really hardcore, you can get yourself a little lockbox. So you can set a time limit on this. So right now it's open and we go like this, and we can set the different. So we'll set 1 minute on it, and it's going to give us 15 seconds. We'll take our Wisephone and we'll put it in here, and we got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off. And now it's locked, so I can no longer open this, and so my phone is trapped inside until this lock gets its time up. So this is a really kind of low-tech way to get this accomplished as well. There are a few like emergency codes, so you can do standard mode that you can unlock by pressing the arrow pad, or fortress mode, where once the timer is set, it cannot be unlocked unless an emergency code is requested. You have to email for the emergency code. Like, this is hardcore. So you can kind of choose what direction you want to go with that. But this is a Mindsite Lock Box. So those are a few tools that will kind of help you get this digital detox going. I actually have a 10-day tech reset available on my website. I will put the link in the description. Oh, we're unlocked. See? I will put a link to the reset in the description below. I'm giving it out free with this video. It is kind of a 10-day tech reset that will help walk you through this process with a little bit more, but help you set that goal, figure out how you can be more intentional about your technology use. Some of it includes, moving an app to a different location. Let's say I am constantly watching YouTube on my phone. I promise I'm not constantly watching YouTube on my phone. Sometimes I am. But you can set a goal that you uninstall YouTube on your phone and you only watch YouTube on a smart TV. This makes you more intentional about that YouTube use. You're not listening to it in the background or anything like that. Like, you are sitting down to watch a YouTube show just like you would watch a regular TV show. So kind of things like that. Or you're only going to check your email when you're at your laptop, or you're only going to browse social media during these times of day. So it's really just going to help you kind of reset your mindset and get that technology used in a healthy way instead of an unhealthy way. So hopefully this gives you some tips to get your technology all in order. We love technology here at Family Tech, obviously, and I really want you to be able to use technology for what it's good for and not all the things that are going to harm your mental health or anything like that. So we will see you in the next one. Let me know in the comments if you have any other tips that you want to share about how to be more intentional about your technology use, and we will see you in the next one.